We are standing here in front of the new March of Life house in Caesarea, and I would like to present the reason why we're here. The March of Life is an international movement with marches in over 200 cities and 15 nations. In the March of Life house, we want to create a hub for all these marches, so prayer can go out from here and a new voice comes forth. The March of Life has three main goals. The first goal is remembering, working through the past, giving survivors of the Holocaust a voice. The second goal is reconciliation, healing and restoration between the descendants of the victims and the perpetrators. And the March of Life wants to take a stand for Israel and against modern anti-Semitism. Why are we in the ancient port of Caesarea? The city is known for tourism. There are excavations, there is an old aqueduct, and there are beautiful things to look at. But it is also a settlement of historic significance. Today, approximately 5,000 people live here. Let's take a brief look at the historic significance, which I would like to introduce to you. The apostles Peter and Paul spent time here, and also Philip the evangelist lived here. And we also know that Caesarea was a Roman Hellenistic settlement, a center of power. It was a city centered around the statue of Zeus. Scientists even say that Caesarea was the first city of Palestine in the Gentile world. Later, Caesarea became a center of Jewish-Christian encounter. I believe this is reason enough to have a March of Life Center and March of Life House here, where we can put the vision into practice. The March of Life represents a message, and this is the message we want to share here also. That means in personal relationships, by having permanent resident staff, in ministering to Holocaust survivors. And this actually brings us to point number one. The March of Life in Israel wants to honor Holocaust survivors. This happens in events with them, in encounters between the descendants of German perpetrators and the descendants of Holocaust survivors. When we break the veil of silence, we are able to understand each other and can shape the future together. The second point why we're here is because the March of Life wants to take a stand for friendship and solidarity with Israel in the nations. The goal is to create a hub for international marches here in Israel and to cover them in prayer. The president of the World Jewish Congress, Ron Lauder, challenged us to take to the streets in pro-Israel demonstrations. We have been doing this since 2007. Since then, we've been able to reach hundreds of thousands in 200 cities on 4 continents. Thirdly, the March of Life in Israel stands for Jewish-Christian cooperation and for international practical help. Especially through our cooperation with Ali Negev and Major General Doron Almog in the volunteer program to serve Israel's severely disabled, we are able to bring volunteers to Israel to make a statement as March of Life. The March of Life also stands for the vision of a March of Life in Israel in 2018. How about gathering everyone who takes to the streets for Israel in their respective nations and calling them to Israel on Independence Day 2018 to take to the streets together here to take a stand? How about coming to Israel for the 70th anniversary for a huge March of Life, perhaps from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, to declare that the nations are standing with Israel in friendship and solidarity? The March of Life does not stand alone. The Knesset honored the March of Life with an award for its exemplary efforts for Holocaust survivors. We are very happy that we will have 2 ladies here as resident staff in the March of Life house in Caesarea who will keep building contacts and relationships. They will be connecting the international marches of life and welcome all newly established relationships. They are here in Israel to help and to serve. They will host weekly meetings with Holocaust survivors. And of course, you are also very welcome. If you want to get involved in prayer and in the March of Life vision, we'll be happy for you to drop in. For more information, please go to our website www.marchoflife.org.
www.marchdesLebens.org.